Om Vang me manasi pratisthita. Om Mukham karoti vachalam Pangum langhayate girim Yat kripatam maham bande Paramananda Madhavam. Yadaksharam Veda Vido. This is Trishtup. Yadaksharam Veda Vido Vadanti Vishanti Yad Yatayo Vita Ragaha Yad Ichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Samgrahena Pravakshye. That aksharam, that word, or imperishable word, Veda Vidach Vadanti, those who know the Vedas speak, Vishanti Yat Yatayach Vitaragach, into which the ascetics enter, who conquered their desires, or whose desires are gone, Vitaragach. Yadichantach brahmacharyam charanti, and those who wanted following brahmacharyam, tatte padam samgrahena pravakshye, that word I will tell you in brief. And that is the next. What is that word? It will be coming in the next shloka. Sarvadvarani samyamya manohridi nirudhyacha Murdhnyadhayatmanach pranam astito yoga dharanam om iti ekaksharam brahma vyaharan mam anusmaran yav prayati tyajan deham sayati paramam gatim. Sarvadvarani samyamya, locking all the doors. Manohridin Rudhyacha, having located and having focused the mind within the heart. Murdhanyadhaya atmanach pranam, having fixed the prana above the head or in the head. Asthitach yogam, yoga dharanam. One arrives at the steady fixation of yoga, let us say, or concentration on yoga of unity. Om iti ekaksharam Brahma. Om, and this is the one word which is Brahman. Vyaharan, pronouncing. Mamanusmaran, remembering or thinking about me. Yav prayati tyajandeham, the one who goes leaving the body, sayati paramam gatim, he goes to the highest goal, or to the highest status, as Sri Aurobindo translates. Okay, let me read the Sri Aurobindo's translation. All the doors of the senses closed, the mind shut into the heart, the life force taken up out of its diffused movement into the head, the intelligence concentrated in the utterance of the sacred symbol Om and its conceptive thought in the remembrance of the Supreme Godhead, he who goes forth, abandoning the body, he attains to the highest status. These are two shlokas. I think the whole methodology of yoga is revealed here. By the way, it's quite interesting that they speak about Atmanach Pranach Asthitach. And Sri Aurobindo translates it as life force taken up out of its diffused movement into the head. So prana, the energy which is scattered in the body, in different zones, in different involved in different activities, now is gathered and brought upward into the head. I'm saying this because because I had some similar experience long ago, like 30, how many already? 40 years back. 38. And this is something interesting. So the prana, because I did intense pranayama that time when I was young, 26 and so on. I was doing this pranic kind of, and I've increased pranayama to up to 4 hours in the morning and 4 hours in the evening. It was like you could, you cleanse yourself totally. Your mind becomes totally silent. So any concentration becomes so easy. You don't need to really make an effort. Yeah, it's very difficult to get out of that concentration. You can't be anymore kind of out of focus. Wherever you look, there is a focus immediately. You can hold any thought, any state of being, consciousness, as long as you want. So, and that time I remember how that pranic energy started to rise somewhere from the plexus solaris with a very powerful, and this is by itself. I even didn't have even control over it. It just started like with a lot of light and noise and like a rocket rising, and slowly it was moving up and slowly, not fast, until it came to the head and then in the head. And I was up, sitting above the head. It was a very interesting experience. So there is something as pranic energy rising. Most probably that is the case here, what he is saying. Closing all the doors for outside, fixing the mind in the heart, and bringing upward the pranic energy into the head or above the head even. And Om pronouncing and remembering the Supreme. And that is it. That's the whole yoga. And then there is another one. Ananya chetach satatam yomam smarati nityashach tasyaham sulabhach partha nitya yuktasya yoginach. Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanach samsiddhim paramam gatach. Ananya chetach satatam. Fixing consciousness not on any other object but me. Mam, your mom smarati nityasha, who remembers only me constantly. Tasyaham sulabhah partha, for him I am easily reachable. Nitya yuktasya yoginach, for him who is constantly united, who is constantly uniting and united. This is the word he's using most often. Yes, this yoga, yogin, yukta. Yoga is this union. Yogin is the one who does yoga. He does this union. And yukta is who is united, composed. Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalaya mashashvatam. And having come to me, napnuvanti, they do not go to punarjanma, to the second birth, to again to the birth. Dukkhalayam, to the birth which is located in dukkha, in the suffering location. Ashashvatam, to the birth which is bringing not permanence. Yes, ashashvatam, that is which is not permanent. Mahatmanach samsiddhim paramam gata, because all these great souls come to the realization of the highest goal. So once you come to Krishna, there is no more danger of being born here blindly in some kind of unexpected location of suffering, dukkhalayam and ashashvatam. Yeah. Many people translate this and interpret it in the Advaitic sense, that Krishna says that there will be no second birth, yeah? Punarjanma, napnavanti. They don't realize the second birth, another birth. But he has this specification, notice, dukkhalayam ashashvatam. They would never come to the birth which is bringing suffering and is not permanent, or how to say, without memory of their unborn state. So they will not lose the memory of their unborn state. The birth will be there, but it will be in accordance with their choice. It won't be any more automatic that you fall into the birth like unconsciously or half-consciously. It will be your choice. So you decide whether you will be born or not. You want to go there and do the work or not. You take onto yourself a particular mission. It's like you are now involutionary being, as it were. Like Vivekananda was involutionary being. He decided to come here down, to do the work. And when Ramakrishna met him, as you remember, you know how he recognized him. He was in another room, some party was there, and he heard him sing. He was singing in another room. And he heard the voice of Vivekananda and rushed into that room to see who it was, because it was the voice he was waiting for. He recognized him through the voice. It's amazing. And he said, I waited for you so long. For Vivekananda. Vivekananda didn't understand that he was an involutionary being. He didn't know. Yeah. He thought that Ramakrishna was his guru. And he told him no, and told him about his visions, that he is sitting there and I am at your feet, Ramakrishna, at feet of Vivekananda. Amazing, yeah? It's quite a story, Ramakrishna and Vivekananda. Sri Aurobindo loved them. These were my also gurus, first gurus. They're still. Vivekananda is so powerful in his speeches, so clean, clear, such a beautiful being. It's through Vivekananda that I came to Sri Aurobindo, by the way. But Mother says that he is an evolutionary being. He came here for a particular purpose. And Ramakrishna told him, once you know who you are, that you are Amsha of Shiva. He was Amsha of Shiva. Came here to do a particular work. He told him, you will lose all interest in, because there is nothing for you to achieve here. It was just for the mission. And once mission was done, he could leave. And he left very early, when he was very young.
So I have a quick question. Is it okay to ask?
Yes, so please go ahead and say something about this. It would be nice if you speak, not only me.
I wanted to know the difference between involutionary and typal beings.
Right. Typal beings are not evolving, yes? But there is something about them. They are also changing in a way through us. Yeah? It's like the gods, if they want to change, Mother says, even Rakshasas, Asuras, whoever, they have to take a human body. And because then, in the human body, when they take the embodiment, the psychic being is being kind of immediately coming into place, or into play, rather say. The earth itself is a psychic being in the universe. Yeah? So to be born in this material form is such a privilege. It's the highest privilege possible. Because we can evolve and change. In any other state, nobody can change. It's not possible. You will just be reflecting and projecting the same energy. You will be of that character. Yeah? You can't change unless or until you are born in this physical body on earth. Then you have a chance to change and grow and evolve. And this is, yes, the same question I asked Kiri Joshi. Could you explain me how Sri Aurobindo became an avatar? Yeah? As Mother says, he wasn't, but he became an avatar. And then he explained to me in a very interesting manner. He said that avatar prepares, through many Vibhutis before, his own embodiment in the future. He develops instruments through embodiment, through partial embodiment. He brings certain qualities of the spirit to develop that psychic being more and more and more until it is totally evolved and developed. And then he can take that reincarnation of that being. Yeah? So you know that Sri Aurobindo was Leonardo da Vinci before. And this is a great being, yeah? Developed totally in every possible sense. All these forms of architecture, all even technologies which are today helicopters, are where he has the drawings of them already. He envisioned already all that development. But that was needed to develop that soul that later he will be born as Sri Aurobindo here and will be ready for that manifestation of that avatar, of that higher being. So that's how they met here on earth. That prepared psychic being was taken by the higher power to use it as its instrument. Amazing, yeah?
Thank you.
And that's why maybe we have these avatars of Vishnu. It's the same Vishnu in every different form. Is kind of developing, nature is developing an instrument for him to be embodied first as the fish, tortoise, and so on, like one by one, animal, then half lion, half this, and then finally the Parashurama, then Rama, then Krishna, and finally we have Kalki avatar, yeah. Buddha also was there in between, kind of. But this evolution of the instruments where the embodiment of avatar could take place and act through over the whole period of evolution on Earth. By the way, you know this work of Beyond the Brain by Stanislav Grof, where he examined the embryo life of man. He says there are 4 stages within matrices. So the first one is oceanic stage, where all the people who are kind of introspecting through LSD, they were going deep into the memory of embryonic stage. They started to draw big fish, and they're on the fish, huge ocean, all of them. It's like a typical, or how to put it, archetypal way of thinking. And then it is becoming slower, closer and closer, and more dangerous. And at the end, before birth, it's the most pressing, Mahakali destroying. They all drew all kind of pictures of that, and then release and freedom, being born into the light. But what is interesting that if you examine the embryo of development, you will see that the first is the fish embryo is matching exactly as fish. When the fish is born, and the embryo of human beings is also absolutely kind of identical with fish. Then it evolves more into the more like a tortoise, and then more like a animal. Yeah, and if you compare them, you will see how identical they are. And then it adds. So you could see that the whole evolution within 9 months, we undergo the whole evolution from the very simple monocellular organism towards the human being. Within 9 months, the whole evolution of consciousness is taking place within the belly of the mother. Is it not amazing? So we all carry that memory. That's why we know how. Somebody was joking about Zhuangzi. There was such a person from Taoism, and he was with his friend on the bridge, and they were watching the fish jumping, And Zhuangzi said, "Oh, how happy the fish is jumping out of the water." And he told him, his friend, "You are not fish. You do not know how happy she is." And the fish. And he looked at him and said, "You are not me. You do not know what I know." So this is an interesting thing, because I want to say that he knows how fish feels, because he was the fish. We know how fish is happy. Really, if we open up that knowledge, we have the knowledge of all the evolutionary process from the beginning. We never tried to do it. We never dared even to think in that direction. But we have all the knowledge inbuilt in us. Somebody said that these stages are 10 avatars of Vishnu. If you examine them, you will see fish first and ending with Kalki avatar. The whole development, is all evolution within there. I think it was one lama, some lama from Tibet said, "Whoa, but this is 10 avatars, the development of embryo life." And it looks like that. So here we bring body, physicality, and spirituality together. Here they totally match. No more spirit somewhere else, and we are here, somebody who is just physically existing. No, it's all interactive. Great. So if you have something to share, please do. Siegfried is here with us. He must have something to share on these topics. No, Siegfried? It's too late for him. Deepti is here with us also. Deepti is joining us. So nice to see you joining us for these studies.
Thank you, Vladimir.
But am I speaking something which you kind of know already and kind of repeating myself, and or it is making sense to mention these things?
It's making a lot of sense, in fact. It's just bringing it all together, in fact.
What types of pranayama do you recommend? Truly speaking, it's a very tricky thing. Since I was very young, like 25, that time when I started, I was very stupid also. I did it because I wanted, realization. So I did it very religiously, very rigorously. It was my sadhana. It was why I lived. It was the very reason of my life. So, and I did it from the books, whatever books I could find, and followed their recommendations. I did all kinds of, and nearly I kind of came to that what I wanted, that I stopped my pranayama because meditation became uninterrupted. I couldn't get out of that state, even when I was walking, even talking, even doing something, it was always there, and that peace and that bliss holding you. It was not letting you go, as it were. But in the moment you sit and close your eyes, you are gone for hours. You open your eyes, 4 hours went. You didn't even feel that it is gone. So you lose the time factor and so on. So, but it is very dangerous in a way. If you are young, then it is easy to do. You can do many more things. But if you are a little older, you can damage your health. So better to do very soft pranayama without forcing it. I was forcing it. But it is recommended not to force. It has to be natural. So better to go slow and regular, little and regular, and increase, always increase, but little increase. Never stay on the same level. Increase, but drop by drop over years. If you can do it on a regular basis every day, you will have amazing results. After 2 years, it would be something.
So Vladimir, what pranayama would you do?
There are these simple pranayama like Bhastrika, or Bhastrika most probably, Kapalabhati, this pranayama, what we call Rechaka Purvaka and Kumbhaka. So you just fill in with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in, hold 4 times 6, it is 24, 12 times out through another nostril. 2 nostrils. You start with the left, hold, right, hold, left. This is one cycle. So you start with maybe 5 or even 4 breathing in, 16 holding, 8 out, counting, yes, like seconds. I started with that, like with the very small, and then I increased very fast when I was young. I came to 16 in, 64 holding, and 32 out, and it was my regular pranayama, 16. And I came to 24 later, and even 32, but I couldn't hold this. It was too much. I mean, breathing in. And I did 40 cycles, which is incredible. You count how many hours you have to sit to do it. But it does miracles. It controls your mind, because your mind is very, like a monkey. It is jumping everywhere. But there, when you do pranayama, when you hold the breath, you start noticing that you can't hold the breath unless you control your mind. Because your mind is disturbing your breath. You want to think something and your breath is broken. You can't think. You have to hold it still, that mind. You don't allow yourself to think. And slowly you become kind of in control of your mind. So breath and thinking are connected. It's a good exercise. But
so when you hold, Vladimir, do you hold both your
nostrils, you mean?
Both your nostrils?
Yeah. Well, right. This is another big problem. If you do long, your hand you will be totally, your shoulder, your elbow. So those who did for hours sitting, they know it's impossible. I was putting the chair there. You saw the rishis, they have a particular stick with 2. It is for the hand to do pranayama. We don't know why they are with that stick everywhere. And I know, because when you do this, you can't hold your hand because it falls, it becomes numb, it pains. So you have to put the elbow somewhere to hold that. So unless that way, or I was doing a bit different, modified way. Whenever I do breathing in, I put my hand down. I hold breath without holding nostrils. It's my modification. I don't recommend. I like it. It works for me. And then I breathe out, and then breathe in, and again I put my hand down. And counting, I was doing with one finger on my leg, like, because you will lose the counting. You will not be able to count all the time regular. At the end, I stopped doing it. I started to use the clock. Tick, tick, tick. It was much better when you hear the clock clicking, because when you counting yourself, you can do 1, 2, or you can do 1, 2, 3. Rhythm, you have no control over the rhythm. So you need some clock or something. So I came to the clock. Clock was the best. And I know for me to make, for example, 20 cycles, I need 40 minutes. So I see it. Okay, 40 minutes. I start doing it and I open my eyes. Okay, it's 30 minutes still. I have to do it. I don't even count how many circles I did. I just see the timing. It's a kind of suggestion in case you are going that route.
What about just feeling the pulse in the heart? And the pulse, for me, not the heartbeat. The heartbeat is too sharp. Pulse is like a gentler push.
Right.
It's not so mechanical.
Right. But you see, every person has different problems with the heart. If you start stopping breathing, the pulse becomes soft, how to say, longer. It's something about it. It is not the same pulsation when you do pranayama. It's not a regular tuk, 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 tuk. It's not this type. It would be... I can even, when I stop breathing, I'll slow my breath. I can feel that my pulse is slowing down.
Yeah, that's good. So instead of listening to that's the heartbeat, but the pulse is more like a gentle turning. They feel the whole up
but
and
it
down,
will extend your time, you see.
That's good.
Okay. Okay, then
I don't know, you're the teacher.
no, because then you cannot rely how many times you did. You may do 8 and it will be like 32, you know. And you think you did 8 only and you want to increase to 16 and it will be such a long... I notice that my counting becomes very slow at the end, and it's nearly impossible to hold breath anymore, even in small counting. So this is the problem of measurement of time. Yeah? But yeah, if you don't mind extending, then it's great. You can keep it that way.
You can always set a clock to gently let you know when your allotted time is up, and you just enjoy it until it rings.
Yeah, I did the pranayama because I couldn't meditate. Yeah, whenever I tried to meditate, I noticed that I'm thinking about something, or I'm falling asleep and thinking about something. You know how people meditate. You are also trying it.
Yeah. So we know that Lele Maharaj taught Sri Aurobindo pranayama in 3 days of sitting together. And wasn't that all it took for Sri Aurobindo to experience nirvana?
Yeah, he was doing pranayama before he met Lele. Yes, correct. And when he met Lele, he started meditation with him, but he did the full course of pranayama, and actually he describes this in his memoirs, and in the letters he mentions this, that he did quite intense pranayama before, also for the same reason.
But there are many types of pranayama. I know I read recently a discussion between Satprem and the mother about pranayama, and she said that she would do pranayama. Satprem asked her if it was dangerous, and she said that she and Sri Aurobindo had done pranayama and never experienced any negative effects.
Oh, he says about this. He speaks about negative effects, and we have to be very careful. We need a teacher. Pranayama is a very powerful tool, and I'm not telling you negative things which I came to, like I had my cracked head, I had migraines, I had all kind of things, like in the water, I had headaches. I did many wrong things, even being young. So I'm kind of warning not to rush with this. Yeah.
But I don't, are there people that they recommended pranayama to? And The mother asked Satram how much he was doing. He said 8 to 10 minutes, 3 times a day before japa. And she said, it's good. But that was very specific from her. You can't get any better than that. From her or Sri Aurobindo direct to probably one of the more advanced disciples. But I don't know where the rest of us stand in terms of having an available teacher.
Right, 10 minutes 3 times a day is nothing, so you can do it with no danger for your health, whatever you do that in that 10 minutes. I'm speaking about hours. Yes, when you come to hours, 1 hour, and from 1 hour to 2 and 3, that is the dangerous what you do there. Yeah? It has to be without effort, effortless. The more effortless it is, the better.
Beautiful. Yeah. Okay.
And there are many different types, but the best is Kapalabhati, Bhastrika, and this Purvaka Rechaka, what we call pranayama proper, with 2, 4, how to put it, 2, 8, 4, yeah, or 1, 4, 2. Yeah? 1 is breathing in, 4 holding, 2 out. This is proper pranayama.
So you don't count. You don't count the breathing in 1, holding 4,
Breathing out 2.
But you don't count how long you hold it out.
4.
So what? No, but that's 1 to in, 4 hold, and 2 out.
Yes.
And
We are not holding. We are not holding on out. No.
Okay. Good.
We are then again holding, then breathing in 1 from another nostril, holding 4, breathing out. This is pranayama proper. There is negative pranayama that you breathe in, then how to say? When you breathe out, you hold. Yes.
Yeah.
So you breathe out, you hold, and then you breathe in, and then breathe out, hold. Breathe in, breathe out, hold. So negative, you're holding kumbhaka on the negative. It's very painful. It is much more effective than opposite one, which is positive. Positive is easier. This negative is burning your body. Every time you are breathing out and you don't have anything in the system, it starts burning. You feel the fire everywhere. You start sweating, body starts trembling. But this is actually cleansing. You feel afterwards as if you were in sauna somewhere, you know.
Yeah. So that sounds like the more dangerous part when you're holding it out.
Yeah. It's much more. I hated that, but I did just to increase my capacity for positive pranayama. It helps, but not very often. I really didn't like it. It was, but I came to that point that I was totally sweating, you know, and trembling, and body starts jumping by itself like a frog. It was really something. When you finish that, you are like in bliss. You can fly, you can jump and fly. You feel like a feather, you know, full of health, and it's a very powerful tool.
So holding for that long, can it have any side effects or something like that, or is it all positive?
You have to arrive at it slowly. So pranayama has 3 levels. First level is 16 in. Yeah, the second level 24 in, and the highest level 32 in. 32 seconds in, yeah, 2 minutes holding and 1 minute out. That means you will be without breath 3 minutes. So 6 minutes without breath within the cycle. Yeah, and you have to do at least 10 cycles. Yeah? That means 1 hour without breath. And they believe in pranayama system that the longer you are without breath, holding breath, kumbhaka, you prolong your life by that. That's how they believe. And you have to arrive at what they say, kevala kumbhaka, that kumbhaka without breathing in or breathing out. Something like you stop breathing altogether. No in, no out. You don't need. The prana is soaking in somehow by itself. The energy exchange is happening by itself without lungs through the whole system.
I think that is when you're breathing through the Shushumna and Ida Pingala have stopped.
Yeah, nice. You mentioned these three. I didn't want to go too much into the technology, but yes, it's that. It's belief that you come to the Sushumna, that empty channel within. And Ida and Pingala, it's these right and left, cooling and heating breath. Yeah, right nostril is sun, left nostril is moon. So this is cooling, and this is heating up, heating and cooling, heating and cooling. And I was doing it, imagining that you are breathing in the rays of the sun, as it was in the book written, and breathing out, burning all the toxins, all the darkness in you, breathing out. And then breathing in the cooling soma of the moon, and breathing out all the toxins, and then again and again. Mind has to do something when the breath is taking place. Great. Okay, let's stop here for today. I don't know how it came, but yes, pranayama was mentioned here, pranam, bringing to the head.
It was very helpful to hear your descriptions. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I will close with mantra. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santo niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.